Is this common that we just don't get to turn people out and they do, even though we have more people?
Yeah, yes, it is. So I had a piece on CNN last week looking at this exact issue of ballot roll-off, which is the phenomenon where people vote at the top of the ticket, right? They vote for president or governor or for U.S. Senate, but they don't vote all the way down the ballot. And what we found, so we looked at over 300 instances, comparisons between top of the ballot and state legislature. And across those, we found a huge, very, very remarkable partisan skew where down ballot Democrats are experiencing ballot roll off much, much more often than Republicans. So just looking at state legislative contests where two parties ran, right, where there was a Republican and a Democrat running, we found that in those contested races, down ballot Democrats experienced ballot roll off 80% of the time. 80% of the time, very high, but it's even worse, or it's even more dramatic, because when you look at Republicans, they, in contested races, they only saw ballot roll off 40% of the time, whereas we see it 80% of the time. So they are doing a much more effective job getting folks to vote all the way down the ballot than we are. And it's
So just to be clear, what does that mean is happening? I'm looking at your piece now. I didn't see you wrote it with David Daly. I should have invited him. We love David Daly. But what does that mean, roll up? Like people are going in and they're only filling out the top few, the one names they recognize, and they're leaving the other ones blank?
Yeah, so I just popped in the Dave Daly op-ed is another op-ed that I have, but this one is actually with my colleague Mallory Roman. Just popped it in the chat.
Got it. Looking at it now. I'll share that too with listeners and put it in the links. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. So that's why we decided to restrict a part of our analysis to just contested races, because we had that exact thought. Well, what if people don't have someone to vote for state legislature on the Democratic side? They have to leave it blank, right, if no one's running. So we looked at just contested races where there was a Democrat and a Republican running. And that's where we saw this tremendous, we continued to see this tremendous partisan skew. So yeah, it means that there are a ton of people who are leaving it blank. There's some percentage of people who are splitting their ticket, right? Voting for Republicans at the bottom of the ballot and Democrats at the top. But there's a whole body of research that shows that ticket splitting is actually becoming increasingly uncommon. It's really a very small minority of voters who split their ticket increasingly. So a big part of what's driving this partisan skew is people who vote straight ticket on the Republican side, and Democrats who don't vote all the way down the ballot.